Did the girls go? Oh.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Haemi Thoughts. Did I ever mention I'm trying to evolve into Haemi version 4.2? This is the 4th and 2/10 iteration of myself. And before I go into my week and how kind of exhausting but fulfilling it was, I want to introduce my guest, another housemate named Jin. Say hello, Jin.
Hello.
Okay, enough of her. Back to me. This past week has been a whirlwind of college and all the craziness that comes with it. I moved into my new apartment, as I mentioned last week, and I'm finding out it's a pretty cool place to live, pretty cool people inside, and I'm really horrible at cooking. I didn't know you had to boil Brussels sprouts before you pan fried them. So it was really horrible today when I bit into a hard tiny cabbage and I had to throw everything out. But it's okay because I learned my lesson. Food is rotting because I'm not eating it fast enough. And I'm just basically adjusting to life, starving all the time. But that's okay too. I'll get settled in. And school's starting tomorrow. Definitely ready to rumble. But at the same time, I feel like my eyes are slowly shutting, from the bottom up, as in I'm getting really tired and my bags are expanding and my eyes are getting closed from the bottom up. And what else is going on? Oh yeah, everything is starting back up. Everything is getting overwhelming again. But this year's theme is effortless. Everything will seem effortless, even though I put in a lot of effort into it. It's like, when you have someone, it looks really cool. They just seem to have everything put together in their lives. Yeah, Hemi 4.2 will be like that. That's my goal this year. So I've been working out a lot. I've been eating chicken and those tiny red cabbages called Brussels sprouts. They're not red. I just said that. Never mind. And I don't know what else. I've been sleeping at 12:30, but I think when school starts, it'll be quite a challenge. Okay, enough about me. Jin, can you tell my two listeners what your week was like?
Hello. My week was it was good. I also moved back into the apartment, which sucks. Every time I have to move. Michiko just came in through the door. Hi, Michi. I'm glad that you're my roommate now. Cause you're a very interesting person.
Oh.
I was laughing at all of your kitchen stories because the same thing happened to me when I first moved into my first apartment. All my food kept rotting before I ate it, and I was so sad. So I had to learn to buy less. But the problem is, if you buy less, you run out faster. So I'm still struggling with that supply and demand model. And I also didn't know you had to boil Brussels sprouts, and I am really interested in eating Brussels sprouts. So I'm glad that you made that mistake. So now that I know how to cook those.
Yeah, Michiko was the one who's watching me eat the Brussels sprouts. I was like, that sounded really crunchy for a Brussels sprout. And I was like, wait, this is not how I imagined it to be. She was like, yeah, you gotta boil them first. I was like, oh.
My sophomore year, I didn't know how to cook, so my roommate Selena had to teach me everything I know. But I still don't know how to cook, and I just eat chicken and salad all the time. But I'm still not very skinny, so I'm very confused about how food works. I think it's because I eat a lot of ice cream. But I'm trying to stop and become an adult. So.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, my favorite flavor of ice cream. I really like matcha ice cream, basic Asian bitch. But I also really enjoy a good vanilla, a good vanilla bean.
It has to have the black flecks in it.
Yeah, it has to be the Haagen-Dazs kind. It's expensive, but it's good.
Not like the yellow ones. It needs to be like a cream.
Oh, yeah, with the artificially flavored color. Oof, no. that authentic shit. Beans and all.
Let's see. What do I want to know right now about you? Okie dokie. How long have you grown out your fingernails?
My fingernails, I still bite my fingernails. It's
So not very long.
not very long, probably like 2 days, and then I chew them off. It's terrible.
Jeez, why do you chew on your fingernails?
I have a lot of anxiety.
It's getting deeper.
But that's not deep. I tell everyone that.
Okay.
That's like one of my icebreakers. I'm just like, look at someone and be like, I'm really anxious right now. But yeah, I bite my fingernails, and I also like twiddle my thumbs a lot because I'm anxious. I've noticed, and I tend to like if I have a rubber band, I'll like play with it. So I have a lot of anxiety, but I've tried to fix the nail thing so many times it doesn't work. The one thing that works is if I get a manicure. Like I have to pay for it, then I won't chew my nails because then in my mind I'm a very value driven person, so I'll look at my nails and be like, you paid for this shit, I won't chew my nails.
I see. One time I grew my nails out that every time I scratched my head, it would like be full of scalp stuff. Like I'm like, what the heck? I have to like take out parts of my
I
scalp.
know what you mean because I tried to grow my nails out last semester and the dirt would just like cake under and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm just gonna bite them off. Like, what is this? It's so gross. And in India, I didn't bite my nails ever because it was so dirty outside, or it's not dirty, but like there's dusty and stuff, so it's dusty. So I would never bite my nails in India, so I grew them for 2.5 weeks and they would just get like black by then. Like they would just be like something like a black line under it at the end of the day, and I'd be like, this is why I don't do this, because this is disgusting, but I couldn't bite them off because they were dirty.
Ew.
So I came home and like cut them all off.
Protein, if you get stuff under there. I don't know.
That is not protein.
Okay, second question. What is your go-to hot drink?
Hot drink? I like ginger tea a lot. It's really good for your health. And I get sick every fall, and my mom always makes me like a canister of hot ginger tea from home, and she brings it here. And it's always hot when it gets here because it's in the can thing. Yeah, and it's like super spicy, and I cough when I drink it, but it's good for you, so I gulp it down.
Interesting. My favorite hot beverage is, you know that Korean like citrus tea? It's like a
Yes.
marmalade kind of thing.
what is it called?
It's like yuja-cha or something.
Yeah, and you just like a fruit.
Yeah, it's like a really ugly like orange looking thing.
Yeah.
It's like super lumpy, but the rinds are like really good for making tea.
Yeah. But I got sad because I made my mom buy me a jar of that last year, and it comes in like this. It comes in a jar and it looks like jam essentially, right? And you put it in the hot water. But then I found out there's a fuck ton of sugar in it. So I was like, I can't drink this anymore.
Why?
Cause sugar messes you up, man.
Oh yeah, Jin's on a anti-sugar crusade.
Yeah. I'm on the crusade, but I also like I ate pie yesterday, so it's not like I'm not one of those people that can quit like cold turkey. But I definitely decrease the amount that I've eaten and I feel good.
Didn't you say you had like 5 slices of pie yesterday?
Yeah, dude, I'm an addict. You can't just. I don't know how people cut that stuff out entirely. It's impossible. The pie was literally just sitting on my kitchen counter. Christine was like, "Yo, who wants some pie?" Like every 5 minutes. I was like, "I definitely want some pie," but I'm trying to cut it out.
Okay, that's like me and donuts. During the summer, when I was in the Seattle, they have really, really good donuts, and they would be in the office at least once a week, and then I would be like, oh my god, like I need one, or else I'm never gonna get one ever again. And so I would keep eating like 3, and then I would feel really horrible, but it would just like fuel the addiction. So I totally get what you mean.
I love donuts too. Donuts are so good. Have you been to Washington Dairy?
No, but everyone keeps talking about it.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's cash only, so it's really annoying, but really, really good donuts. But I feel like corporate culture is so, or like work culture in general is so bad for your health. It's not like conducive to being healthy, right? Because I worked at like a TV studio and they had like 2 kitchens and they were always stocked, and they stocked it with like soda and candy. Why couldn't they just stock it with like fruit?
Give the people what they
Give
want.
me what I want, which is not candy. I would still eat the candy even if I didn't want it. But do you see what the problem is? Like, I wouldn't even want it, but I would eat it because it's just there. Maybe this is my fault because I have no self-control. This is just...
No, it's the world's fault.
It's the world's fault.
You shouldn't need self-control. The world should provide everything for you.
I think it's a mix of both. You should have a certain amount of self-control, but also the government and stuff should make it so that healthier foods are more accessible, and American culture should change a little bit so that we aren't always reaching for things like, getting a box of donuts is so normal to do for your office, right? Like, just pick up donuts on the way to work, but like, we should really reevaluate that behavior because donuts are terrible for you, and starting your day off with a donut is possibly like one of the worst things you can do during the day, I feel like.
Yes.
Yes.
But I abuse that system.
Yeah.
Because in the summer, on Mondays, on Sunday night, I would bake a cake, like a 2-layer cake from the box. And then I would bring it in Monday morning, and I would like put it in the office kitchen with a note saying,
name on it?
no, with a survey. I wanted their data. And so I would like bribe them and be like, take a slice, leave a vote. And then one time I had like a survey on like, oh, would you rather be blind or have no arms? And then the survey was like taken, it was stolen. And then my coworker was like, oh, they probably got offended by your question. But then we were like, wait a minute, then you would be blind or have no arms. And in either case, like, how would they steal it? Because you wouldn't be able to read it in the first place, and then you wouldn't be able to like take it. But yeah,
Interesting.
sweets are definitely an office
You're
commodity.
very interesting. Who thinks of that? Putting up a survey for... I would bake a cake and use it to bribe people to get them to like me, but you used it for intellectual property, so that's interesting.
Oh, well, it's just that data is the future, and I wanted to know if you'd rather be blind or have no arms. Would you rather be blind or have no arms?
I think that I would rather be blind.
Why?
I really like my arms. No, like you, hands are so important. I think you couldn't play instruments anymore, which would really suck. You couldn't write. Well, I guess you can't really write if you're blind. This is hard. Oh no. Well, I guess.
Think about how you would like wipe your butt.
Right. Yeah.
but-
Also, I'm a really independent person, so it'd be really hard for me to have no arms. Like, I feel like being blind, like, you can get a dog, like the leader butt. Or, like, you can eventually learn to function independently, to a certain extent, but if you have no arms, like, you can never wipe your butt if you have no arms. Till you die.
Now I'm like wondering, how do people with no arms wipe their butts?
You
And
have a really, really, really generous significant other or mom.
man, if you had no arms and you needed to find someone to take care of you because you have no family or whatever, and you make it an OkCupid account. Well, first of all, how did you even type out like the OkCupid account? But like, it's like you have to mention in your profile.
Write that you have no arms, and girls will be like, oh, so honest. They'll be attracted to you. Honesty is so attractive.
In like your profile picture, you like catfish someone, and they're like, "I thought you had arms this whole time." And then
Wow, I thought my dating life was complicated, but so sorry to everyone with no arms out there.
I'd rather have my eyes. I want to see my firstborn child, and I want to like wear glasses. Like, what if you don't have eyes but you still wear glasses? Like, what do people think of you? What would you think if you saw a blind person who wore like reading glasses, like just the
Well,
frames?
glasses can be an aesthetic thing.
Yeah, but how do they know what looks good on them?
They have good, honest friends.
Good point. I don't think. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Would you wear your glasses if you?
I was blind?
Yeah.
No, I would not. Because I feel like if I was blind, I would kind of like care a lot less about what I looked like. And the Sometimes the only reason I wear my glasses is because I look like crap that day and I just need somebody to like help me out. Or it's kind of both, right? Like you wake up and you're too tired and your eyes are super dry, so you like don't want to put your contact lenses, you put on glasses, and like a bonus is that like you look better. So, but if I was blind, I wouldn't like care about that anymore. That's another reason why I think the blind thing is intriguing. I would never say I want to be blind, like no way, but I think there's something like interesting about living life with no aesthetic like perception. You know, you really have to base everything off of what the other person is actually like, what their soul is like. I know it's like super corny, but I feel like that's it's an interesting. I don't know. I've stared at a lot of people and I have not become their soulmate, so I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I'm trying to get myself to stare at more people because
Oh, it's really easy. Just do it during class. Just stare at them.
no, but what if they like sense you and then they turn around and you make eye contact?
You confidence is key. Just keep holding out.
Oh my god.
That's my motto for everything. Confidence.
And then what? Do they like avert
And
their
then-
eyes?
Yeah, in that situation, whoever has the most confidence wins, right? Because one person's got to avert, and you are not going to be that person. Hold out.
Okay.
Stand strong.
What are you trying to gain from like staring at people excessively?
Just proving to myself that I am
Alpha.
the worst person.
Okay.
Because when I pass people in the hallway, I like make it a point to not look at their faces. I don't know, it just feels
Yeah.
weird to me.
Actually, I know, I totally agree with that. I've noticed that when I walk, I look down a lot. And I used to think it's because I thought I would fall, but like,
What the heck?
no, okay, I realized this because at work, in the studio that I worked at, like there was no like intern area. We had like a conference table and that was it. So it was like very open space, right? I was constantly running into people and I realized like the first couple of weeks, maybe a couple of days, like I was really uncomfortable at work because I was placed in a situation where I would constantly have to run into people and say hi. And I noticed that like I subconsciously was like avoiding doing that by looking down a lot. So I had to train myself to look up and acknowledge people as they pass me, and like I think that's just a byproduct of me being like a shyer person. But
Wait, you're a shyer person?
yeah,
What are you talking
I'm
about?
definitely a shyer person. People do not assume this, but I am like when I was a kid, I was very shy. I was a very quiet kid.
So
I think I'm not scared of people. I think people confuse that with being shy. I'm definitely not scared of people, but I am definitely wary of them for sure. I take my time getting to know people.
So, what quality of a person do you notice first when you're like talking to them?
Notice first. Well, I always try to pay attention to what the person's talking about, so subject. Like, I try to gauge what people are interested in, and that's kind of how I like to gauge whether or not I'd like that person. Because there are some people that live in a bubble, and you can tell by the things they talk about all the time. Like, I don't know, if you're talking about your Instagram and food, like, literally, oh my god, one time I sat at a table of sorority girls. This is like, I'm not even gonna give you context, but basically I was put in a situation where I was surrounded by these girls who literally talked about granola for an hour during breakfast. And these girls are very nice. I got along with them. No harm against them, but I cannot be friends with people, or good friends at least, who sit and talk about granola for an hour. Listen, I'm down to talk about healthy foods, but not granola for an hour. That's not cool with me. So yeah, subject, like, yeah, cool people like cool things, right? So you listen to the things that they do and things they're passionate about. I try to withhold judgment a lot because usually my judgment is wrong. I have a really bad perception of who people are, and I figured that out in high school when I kept being friends with crazy people. So now I like take a couple weeks to get to know someone, and I ask a lot. My friends have better judgment than me, so I ask them like, "What do you think of this person?" And that matters a lot to me.
Oh, interesting. I think I'm like a little bit opposite because first impressions matter a lot. If you make a really bad first impression to me, I will hold that against you like forever. But it's like I'm trying to fix that because I know it's like being a little bit impulsive, but I don't know just what happened like over my life. I would like have a bad first impression and then I wouldn't want to interact with them ever again.
Has anyone ever like come out of that though? Has anyone ever surprised you to be a better person after they gave you a bad first impression?
Yeah, but that was only in cases where they would actively like try to talk to me. I would never go and give them like a second or third chance.
That's interesting.
And then what I noticed first is probably like the way they carry themselves. So I look at body language a lot, and if someone is really like if they're crossing their arms and have their like slouched posture and they're just like averting eye contact, then I'm like, okay, this person does not have the confidence
Yeah.
to like defend themselves and to I don't know, just like respect themselves enough to like hold I'm saying themselves to like hold them up like hold up their body. And I think I noticed that first along with like what is it like if they're being all shifty eyed, then I'm just like interesting. I like put that in my inventory of notes. But if someone is like presenting themselves really confidently and speaking clearly, then I'm like pretty impressed.
Okay.
Because like young people, especially with like vocal fry, like oh my god, I hate vocal fry.
Fry. That's funny. I think that I used to be so judgmental and like first impressions used to mean a lot to me, but I was just proven wrong so many times that I've let go of that. And carrying yourself, I've just met so many douchebags in Ross who can carry themselves well but are actually like horrible people. So I think ever since I got into Ross, it matters to me a lot less how you carry yourself. Because I seriously, I'm telling you, like when I first got into college, I used to think like if you're not a good public speaker and you can't, you know, fly by in like an interview, then what kind of person are you? I just couldn't deal with that. But then I realized that people who do that generally tend to be we shouldn't generalize, right? But I just met like a lot of people who are great speakers and overconfident and they're very shallow and are just, you know, they're polished people, right? They're messes on the inside, but they can just polish it up to make it look good for everyone else. So ever since then, Ross has changed my idea of life. I think actually Ross has made me a better person miraculously because I did not connect with it to such a level that it pushed me to be a different person.
Man. Wait, so on average, what % of the people you've encountered in Ross have been like douchey? Is it at least the majority?
No, I can't even say that. It's not the majority. I honestly think it's like 20 to 30% of people that are like that. But the thing is that they make such a lasting impression on you in such a negative way that it feels like it's like 90% of the people in Ross. But actually, there are a lot of good people. And it's hard because there's a lot of good people placed in an environment where you're tempted to be a bad person so much of the time. And you know where those temptations are and you know that they exist for every single student that's there. So it makes you very distrusting of even the best people. And so I don't blame the people in Ross, I blame the environment.
Dang, that's deep, yo. Do you have a couple song recommendations for my listeners?
I do. Okay, the first one is Pink and White off of Frank Ocean's new album. That is a song that my brother told me about, and I like it very much.
Why do you like it?
It's very, very chill, and it reminds me of like that weird space where you're like sad and happy at the same time.
Is it like nostalgic, melancholy kind of thing?
Yeah, I love that stuff. I'm totally a person that lives in that space, so I like that song. And I also like The Need to Know by Wale featuring SZA, which is on my Discover Weekly playlist on Spotify.
Wale?
Wale.
What? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, last question. How would you describe your favorite style of music?
I love R&B and hip hop. There's no doubt about that. I also love like mainstream stuff. So I love Rihanna. I love Beyonce. I love J. Cole. I love Kendrick. I'm like so mainstream. It hurts me to say out loud, but it's fine. But mainstream, like, I don't like really pop music. I don't like there's a song Closer that's really popular right now, and it makes me want to like gouge my eyes out every time it comes on the radio.
Your eyes out.
And my ears, I guess, but mostly my eyes for some reason. And like Sia's music, I don't really like, but like Sia was like on Wolves, and I was into that, you know. So it just depends.
Interesting. For me, I really like the surfer West Coast vibe. Very slackerish. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs, but I really appreciate stoner music. I don't know. I really love the floaty stuff. Makes me feel like a cloud, like a dark, chocolatey cloud.
Oh yeah.
And I also really love the songs about girls sung by boys
Really?
with guitars.
I hate those songs. Really? You like those songs?
I live for that.
Like what artist? John Mayer?
No, like not like that kind of stuff, but like I'm trying to think. I'll put that in my intro.
Okay.
You can hear
I'll
what
look
it
out
is.
for it.
Yeah. And then I love hip hop beats mixed with like vintage samples.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That is a very unique thing that I've heard. That I can't really think of what it sounds like.
Like I really love ironic pairs. So I love it when there's a scene in a movie where it's like really, really violent and gory and just like chaotic, and then the background music is like super ironic,
Yeah.
like happy or like classical music. Because I just feel like, oh man, that's awesome. All right, well, this has been another episode of Haemi Thoughts. Thank you, Jin.
Thank you for having me. This is
Yeah. Catch you guys next time.